Hello, my name is Maria, a former travel journalist. I'm running 2 successful businesses with my partner Antonio in Rome. We have a restaurant and 5 Airbnbs. In 5 years, I opened 12 Airbnbs for other people, and right now I'm ready to share my knowledge and all the information I know with you. No useless information, only my personal experience based on facts. Follow my channel and open your own Airbnb business. Today we will talk about things that you must check in the apartment before you start a business. First of all, of course, I always will say and repeat that the location. You should check how many highlights of the city are there around the location, how easy it is connected with the public transportation. Is it connected with train station, or is it connected with the airport? It should be close to the main highlights of the city. This will allow you to sell it all the time. If you have at least one highlight next to the city next to your apartment, that will help you to rent it really easy. For example, we're talking about Colosseum. You have Colosseum in 5 minutes walk from your apartment. You put in huge letters the information about that, and people who would like to visit Colosseum would go to your apartment. Or if you have Vatican right across the street, you should write that, and that will help you to sell. So it's a strong selling point. Please do that. Do check the highlights. The second thing that is really important, and I will put the exclamation point here, it's the rent price. The rent price is it's a fixed cost that you will have for ages. It's a lifetime relationship and it's a fixed cost that you would need to sustain every month. So please be ready to bargain on the rent price with the landlord. Or if you see that the rent price is not sustainable for you, just don't go ahead. Make your math, and if it's not working for you, just leave this apartment and find another one. The rent price should be as low as possible. The next thing is quite important, but not many people would talk about that. It's the quantity of sleeping places. So, for example, you have only a king-size bed. That means that you can host only 2 people. But if you have a sofa bed as well, you can already host 4 people. Every third person, up to 2 people, the third and the fourth person, will pay 20 or 30 euros extra per person, per night, for staying in your apartment. So that's extra money that probably you did not calculate in your business plan. But if you add sleeping places, that can be your extra money. So please do. One more fixed cost that you must know before you start renting an apartment is a condominium fee. Many condominiums in Italy are very luxury, so they could ask 500 euros per 2 months, and that will be your fixed cost, and that will add the fixed cost to your rental price, because you would need to pay condominium every month. What is the service fee in the condominium? It's cleaning of the stairs, it's elevator charge, and garbage. So those things are usually not included in the rent price, but you would need to pay this separately. Please control that. Check that before you start renting an apartment. One more thing that you need to check when you're in Italy is the heating system. The heating system can be local, provided by the suppliers from the city, or personal. So you can have a boiler inside the apartment that will provide heat to all the apartment. So check how it works, because if you have the central boiler in the apartment, you will probably pay more for the heating, but you will be independent, which is really good for you. Air conditioning. Not all the apartments in Rome surprisingly have an air conditioning, but all the clients will ask you about the AC. There is not even one client that would stay in your apartment if you don't have an air conditioning. It's an absolute must, and if the apartment doesn't have an air conditioning, you need to ask the owner, the landlord, if he can deduct the price of air conditioning from your rent price, because it's really costly to organize the air conditioning system in the apartment in Italy. Also, not all the apartments can have the air conditioning system, because it's not allowed to put the electricity block of the air conditioning outside. It should be only on the balcony or somewhere inside. So you need to check if the apartment is disposed to have the air conditioning. kilowatts or electricity power. That's another thing that not many people would check, but some of the apartments in Italy would not have enough electricity power. So if you would switch on together the air conditioning, the fan, and microwave, boom, the electricity will be gone. So what to do in this case? You should ask the landlord to increase the available kilowatts if it's possible. If it's not possible, I'm not saying to reconsider renting this apartment, but you would need to talk to your clients and advise them that they won't be able to switch on 3 or 4 electric devices together. That might be a problem, so just keep that in mind. Stove, is it gas or electric? Seems like a stupid question, but if the stove is electric, probably it's even better than if the stove is made by gas, because in this case the price for gas is increased immensely in Italy, so you'll probably pay a lot more for gas services. You should also check the door and the lock, how they are made, if it is possible to modify them to put an automatic opening, and in this case you can have an automatic check-in system. It's complicated to check on your own, but there are some services like Wiki or Nuki that provide the services, and the specialists of these services can come to your apartment and check if the door is ready to be modified. And this part is really fundamental. You need to check the square meters to make an Airbnb license. It can be checked by architect, it can be checked by your own, but the license is always opened by an architect. So you should find an architect who would be a responsible person, who would anyways come and check the square meters in your apartment and will present this request to open an Airbnb license. How many meters do you need to have? At least 14 square meters in the living room and at least 14 square meters in the bedroom. That's the minimum that you need to have to open Airbnb. And also you need to have a kitchen. If you want, you can consult an architect or another specialist who would help you to understand if this Airbnb is eligible to have a license. One more thing is to check is the furniture. Of course, the furniture can be changed, can be replaced, but in this case, if you don't like the furniture, tell it to the landlord and ask him to remove the furniture and bring yours. So that's the point that you need to speak about in advance. And the last but not least is the Wi-Fi. Ask which kind of Wi-Fi does this apartment have already, and if you can bring your Wi-Fi inside. That's also important. I always work with the same Wi-Fi provider with all the apartments, and it's easier to pay the bills this way. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to put a like to this video and follow my channel.